I'm Michaela Kamarek.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
We'll be able to have up to 50 people in our homes from midnight, and density limits in the fitness and hospitality sectors are also being relaxed. 50% of people will be allowed back in the office from Monday. It comes despite 7 more COVID-related deaths and 1,639 new cases. Premier Stephen Marshall says we're not out of the woods just yet.
We want to make sure that we can do everything we can to ease those restrictions but not have a second wave in South Australia. So again, we're urging anybody with symptoms to go and have the PCR test. Anybody that isn't fully vaccinated or boosted to have that shot as soon as possible. And when indoors, wear that mask.
A man has been charged over an attempted rape in broad daylight at Gilberton. A teenage girl was targeted while sitting at a bus stop on Walkerville Terrace yesterday afternoon. She tried to walk away but was pushed into a garden bed and allegedly assaulted. A 52-year-old from Medindi was later arrested. China has been identified as the country most likely behind a push to manipulate the outcome of the upcoming federal election. ASIO recently foiled a plot to influence the outcome of an election, but the spy agency didn't reveal which country or which election. Beijing has been angered by the Morrison government on a range of issues. Defence Minister Peter Dutton has told Parliament that's why China was trying to bankroll potential Labor candidates.
We now see evidence, Mr. Speaker, that the Chinese Communist Party, the Chinese government, has also made a decision about who they're going to back in the next federal election, Mr. Speaker. Now, that's open. That is obvious, Mr. Speaker.
Betting agency Sportsbet has been fined $2.5 million for sending thousands of spam text messages. The fine has been issued after texts and emails were sent to 37,000 people. ACMA launched an investigation after customers made complaints that they'd tried to unsubscribe. Privacy expert Melina Saunders says it's the biggest penalty issued for spam messages.
It's really going to draw people's attention to this issue and hopefully educate them on what they can do to try to stop these messages from flowing into inboxes.
Germany's leader believes progress is being made in diplomatic efforts to resolve tensions over Ukraine. But Chancellor Olaf Scholz has cautioned it's far too early to say the problems have been resolved. Mr. Scholz says he'll be making his own diplomatic visit to Moscow, but leaders are united.
So ausmachen wie das, was President Macron.
What I say there will amount to the same as what President Macron said there earlier this week. And that will also apply to many leaders. Acting together, constantly phoning each other and communicating closely is a shared activity that makes us stronger.
Turning to FIVEAA sport, the Australian men's cricket team begins life without Justin Langer as coach against Sri Lanka in their T20 International tomorrow. The match at the SCG is the first since the Aussies took out the T20 World Cup. Captain Aaron Finch says Langer deserves plenty of recognition for the side's recent success.
JR did an amazing job for 4 years and that ended with a brilliant T20 World Cup win and a brilliant 4-0 Ashes win. So as a playing group, we couldn't thank him enough, and I know personally the amount of work that he's done for me as a batter, as a person, as a leader has been fantastic.
In Sheffield Shield action at Adelaide Oval, Victoria is none for 97, chasing the Redbacks' first innings total of 366. And Australia's 4 snowboarders have had their first qualifying runs in the border cross event at the Winter Olympics. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Complete windscreens, same-day service and best price guaranteed. Proudly South Australian since 1976. Complete windscreens.
In the city, got a smash on Carrington Street at East Terrace. Highgate, works causing delays on Fullerton Road at Crossroads, speeds of 25. Angle Vale, construction works on Angle Vale Road near Heathslip Road affecting both directions, speeds of 25. And Darlington works on Flagstaff Road, continue near South Road, slow going at the moment. Cameras, Morford Road, Warradale, Main North Road, Blaraville. Lunch sorted at OTR. Their delicious $5 and $6 sandwiches are ready for you, and they're just $3 every Wednesday. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, 26. Sunny tomorrow, 28. Saturday sunny, 31. And Sunday much the same, a top of 33. Right now it's 23. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Changes to COVID restrictions, all you need to know. A man arrested for a daylight bus stop attack on a teenage girl. Mudslinging in Parliament. Shock accusations of bullying and bad behaviour. Rapid delivery of rapid tests to your door in under an hour. The big bank hiking its rates before the Reserve Bank. And Powerball's giant jackpot. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News Tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sport Show with Stephen Rowe.
Oh, police!
Adelaide's sport destination.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sport Show.
Yes, it is 6 minutes after 4. Hi, everyone. Rowey, good afternoon. Bit of a mixed bag. Lots of sport to talk about.
It is a funny day of sport. No medals in Beijing, but a Russian drug scandal. Goody story. Well, hopefully that dies on the vein. JL story is dying. Redbacks need a wicket. Well, how often have we said that? None for 97, Victoria Imply. We made 366. But let's start here. I like this. Sample fixture is out. It's out in its completion until round 8. That's the dates, the times, the venues. You know who you play from then on, but not really too sure what times they are. We'll speak to GM of Footy, Matty Doldick, after 4:30. A couple of key takeouts. An Easter footy feast. All 5 games of the sample round will be on Good Friday. That's round 3, April 15. That'll be here before we know it, Easter.
Do you remember the days of, Good Friday footy?
Yeah, that was me. Now there's 5.
There's 5.
And I said I'd never work in it.
I'm not going to footy, and look at you. Now you're going to 5 games.
5 games. The only good thing about that as a player, you got the rest of Easter. You got
awesome.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you got a bit of a break. So what do you think about that one? Round 4, Norwood will take on Westies in Port Lincoln. Now that's a first. Now Norwood got the zone of Port Magpies, and they had it for all those years. It's heartland Port Adelaide. That's quite massive, that one. Norwood's trying to get a foothold in there. The Russell Ebert tribute game, we know that's in Loxton. Salute again to all clubs with that. Northern Crows in Whyalla, that's July 16. And I like this one. The traditional grand final rematch is Anzac Day. And SA are going to play WA again in Perth. That's May 15. Will they be open? Will the Republic of WA be open for that state game? As you know, I'm the chairman of selectors. So fingers crossed all of that's not compromised by COVID. Fingers crossed that's not all compromised by the AFL's ruling of top-up players. And we'll speak to Dolds after that. If you want to talk about the sample, we'll always get
Because people
going.
have been hanging out. How many calls and SMS and emails have we had the last couple of weeks? When's the release out? When are they putting out the fixture? Well, here it is. So
we had Super Kerry on last week, and he said our request was, can we just stop Sunday games? I've looked at Glenelg's. The sample's done that for him. So Glenelg fans, you may be happy. If you're a fan of your club, you've looked at the fixture, let us know what you think. Now, Tuesday last week, much loved and respected shooting guard for the Utah Jazz, South Australia's very own, is Joe Ingles. Jingles, the big Jingles. Did his ACL. He's out for 12 months. I've done an ACL. It's a 12-month injury, especially when you're 6'6". How's this? 9 days later, after 8 years on the roster, he's been traded to the Portland Trailblazers without consultation. Pack your locker, leave your keys on the desk, and get out of here.
Not how it works.
Doesn't even get a plane ticket.
Nope.
No. So the NBA have a trade window, for those that don't know. It closes February the 11th, their time, Saturday morning, our time. If you don't have a trade clause in your contract, and clearly Jingles didn't, you can be moved on whenever and however in these trade windows. Now, we know that we have a mid-season trade window for us. Soccer have a transfer window. NFL, NBA, they have a number of windows. So you can lose a particular player. So this is the question I want to ask to AFL fans. We have a mid-year, what would you call it?
Trade period.
Supplementary trade period. But it's not between clubs. It's to get players from the SANFL or from other clubs with all these different rules on it. So would you like us to move to the NBA model? If you don't have a trade clause and there's a trade window, let's just say it's between rounds 11 and 12, you can go and get any player you want. Lose a ruckman, go get Leith Forest. Lose a rover, go get S. Rowe.
And the player has no say.
So it gives clubs 100% power for players that they don't have if they don't have a trade clause. Would we like to see that in the AFL?
So it puts the power back in the hands of the clubs as opposed to the players who
Correct.
just hold out, and then go to the club of their choice. So there are two ways to look at this. So the Joe Ingles situation's interesting because Joe's done his knee. He's close to retirement than the end. So his wife, Renee, of course, well-known netballer here in Australia, she put out a tweet today. Appreciate the love and support near and far. Today's so sad. Don't have the words to put together just yet. Incredibly grateful for 8 years, part of the Jazz family and the Utah community. Focus on Joe's knee and rehab. Deeply saddened. Thank you all. So there is just the shock. All of a sudden you are, bang, you're in Portland. Renee's life, the kid's life, Joe's life completely changes. On the flip side, Luke Longley was once taught when he was the Minnesota Timberwolves, his agent said, good news, bad news. Bad news, you've just been traded. Good news, you're going to Chicago. He goes to the Bulls, he wins 3 titles. But he has no say, like Joe has no say. Do you think, Pete? I don't think Australians would put up with that.
Well, I don't know. I think we're heading that way. All I'll say to the Ingles family is I've been to Salt Lake City and I know Portland's a lot better.
That's right. But imagine, put it in your situation. You're at home, you've got James around.
You're all
great.
settled.
All of a sudden, the West Coast Eagles and the Crows do
James
a swap
in Perth.
and James is gone and you have no say. James has no say.
No.
As a family, you'd be shattered.
You just get a phone call from your manager.
Yep.
You're out of here.
See you later.
Pack your bags.
Yep.
And you're gone. Don't even say goodbye. Do not pass whatever it is, that Monopoly thing, and collect the $100. Just get out of here.
Do not pass go. Yeah.
Well, do we want that? Have you say 822 300 And the other one, AFL 360 and Herald Sun's Mark Robinson, Robbo, friend of show. He'll be on after 5 o'clock. He wrote an article on the AFLW. The headline was basically a mess, and I tend to agree a bit with this. It was compromised by COVID. Now, that's no one's fault. We're all going to be compromised by COVID. Actually, we're going to speak to CJ Bruton. The 36ers with COVID
Terrible.
have been smashed. The other thing is he's saying it's played in over 30-degree heat. I agree with that. And remember this, they've only got 16 players, and they're playing on full AFL ovals. The skills, he's saying, aren't good enough to do that. The last round, 3 teams didn't kick a goal in 3 quarters of football. 4 teams were in this year, and the standard just hasn't, in the 6 years, absolutely gone. But then on the flip side, the godmother of women's footy, Susan Alberti, she wants equal pay or close the pay gap.
Yep.
And she also wants them to be full-time. Other key figures of the AFLW want the grand final played at the MCG. Now, it costs about $100,000 just to turn the lights on and open the doors for that place, so that's one of them. Most wanted it rescheduled as it's, it shouldn't really be a summer sport against... Let's look at the big sports. Aussie Open.
Yep.
BBL.
And the cricket.
You got the cricket. You had the Ashes. The TV ratings, look, they're not poor, but they're waning. And it's because there's a lot of competition. So I want to ask our folk out there, who's watching AFLW? Who is watching AFLW? Either on telly or have gone to a game. Now, I'll be honest, I've watched and flicked, but I haven't been to a game live for probably 2 years. And in the first year, I made an absolute point to go to every home game I could, and I did. So I've dropped off. I think the first couple of years it was a novelty factor. It's year 6, it's got to stand alone. Has it improved in your eyes? Has it improved? Ask yourself that. For me, slightly. The skills and the stats stack it up. Robert went through all the stats. In my eyes, it has slightly. Scoring is a big factor, but the thing I do believe in, there needs to be a fixture change, and I think it should move to immediately after the AFL season, and then it's finished before Christmas.
Yep.
Either that, or you play it shoulder to shoulder with the men.
I think Aaron Phillips has suggested that, and let's hear your thoughts. 8223 0000, text, email, or get to us via the Facebook. It's kind of poked away. It's a bit hidden with the cricket and with the tennis. You're right. So it hasn't
If you're going to have a crack,
hasn't
have a
had the
crack.
appeal this year because it's
No.
kind of lost a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the product's still good, but it's just not top of mind.
I mean, it's not great. You can say it's good, but it's not great. It's great for what it is. It's the top, it's the elite, and I'm not knocking it. And we need to be able to talk frankly about this. We had Doc Clark on the other day. I do admit when I go there, I enjoy it more than watching it on telly. But I haven't been. I haven't been able to go. It's at Nord Oval. It's great. Hey, they're getting good crowds at Nord Oval. I do know that. But have you say, should they change the fixture? And remember, next year, 4 more teams are coming in.
Yeah.
So let's do our math. It's another 100 players.
That's right. So
Honestly.
the level's going to dip a little bit too.
Yeah.
I think there's a fair gap at the minute too between the Adelaide Crows and the rest. Like
Oh,
they're
my
5 from
goodness.
5. They've beaten the next
yeah.
3.
Yeah.
There's some dud teams at the minute.
4 of the 5 teams have only scored 1 goal
That's
against
right.
the Crows. Now, that's not good fun to watch. We are lucky because we've got great players. I could name you 15, 20 players in our team. They've won 2 flags. In 6 years, not bad. They've had some success. And I know what I'm like. I'm a good fella and jumping on a bandwagon. You watch. They get into the finals,
That's
I'll
right.
be going.
Are you the type that jumps
Yeah.
off though? If all of a sudden it turns a bit pear-shaped down the Crows, you just...
Yeah, I do that as well.
Put that in the other
And a
pocket.
Fluoro Milk Sports update. Have your say on that. Redbacks were all out for 366. One under Jakey Weatherall, 122. Daniel Drew was a solid 130. Scotty Bolland got 4 for 61.
Yep.
In reply, Victoria Leith, no wicket for 103.
Oh, boy.
Pekoski and Harris. Now, they're both test batsmen, remember? I'm glad to see young Will Pekoski at the crease, 41 off 100 after he hasn't played for a year because of his concussions. But just on that, Doggett, Grant, McAndrew, Pope, who are those names? It's the bowling lineup for the Redbacks.
Yeah. Bit inexperienced, that
It's
lot.
not Swing It Like Sayers,
Not at the moment.
Joe Menny,
No.
Dizzy Gillespie,
Sean Tate.
Sean Tate.
Yep.
Can we speak to Sean Tate? He's in Pakistan.
Yeah, we're going to send him a message.
wild thing.
Fingers crossed. He's the bowling
I know I
coach for the
digressed there,
Pakistan
but Leith,
cricket.
I'm asking
No,
you,
I know.
can we speak to the big wild
I'm a little
thing?
concerned. Martin sent in a text going, can we have a trade window for radio announcers? Leith, you're out. Grab your pencil case. Bix is on the way back. Maybe. Martin, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Just a little mood lifter for the start of the show.
That's harsh.
Have your say. 8223 0000, the Sip and Save text. By the way, text messages today, we have a $100 voucher to give away to Sip and Save.
Ooh.
Fair chance Martin's not going to win. Our delivery, download the app or hit shop.sipandsave.com.au. I'm kidding. Your call's next.
Sunday nights from 7, join Sean Fuster with his partner in crime, Daniel Panozzo, for Just Lawful, the Adelaide crime stories that will leave you stunned. Thanks to Crime Stoppers SA and Police Credit Union, supporting better communities. crimestopperssa.com.au.
Want more chances to win big? The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 5 lucky winners $50,000 each in our $50,000 frenzy. Get your tickets by midnight tomorrow and you could win big. Plus, your tickets stay in the draws for 2 stunning Scott Salisbury homes at Somerton Park, just moments from the beach. Hurry, join the fight and get your tickets at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14133.
The Edwardstown Mazda sale is on right now, and it is sizzling with massive savings on new, demo and used Mazdas. And the great news? Plenty of stock is arriving daily. But remember, everybody wants to drive a Mazda in 2022. So hurry to avoid missing out. The Edwardstown Mazda sale is on right now with incredible savings. Hurry in now.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, 862 South Road, LMVD 207428.
Hi, I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture. Our summer stock take sale is on now, and you'll save up to 40%. That's right, save on our comfortable leather sofas, fabric sofas and sofa beds, dining tables and recliners, including our Australian-made collection. Be part of our massive summer stock take sale and save up to 40%. At Berkowitz, we're not just a furniture store, we're a furniture family. In-store or online.
Children aged 5 to 11 years can now receive their free COVID-19 vaccine. It's the best way to protect them, your family, and community. All vaccines are thoroughly tested before use and reduce a child's chances of getting sick. Talk to your GP, pharmacist, or healthcare professional if you have questions. Book now at australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell & O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell & O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell & O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
21 minutes after 4, number of text messages and calls coming through on the AFLW. We'll get to those in just 1 second. Matthew Doldig from the SNFL on the fixture as well. First, the traffic for your drive home. You can win $50,000 just by getting your tickets by midnight on Friday. It's the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Go to it.
In the city, got a smash on Carrington Street at East Terrace. Highgate, works causing delays on Fullerton Road at Crossroads, speeds of 25. Angle Vale, construction works on Angle Vale Road near Heathslip Road continue, speeds of 25 there. And Darlington works on Flagstaff Road, slowing things up near the South Road intersection. Cameras parked to us Bowden, Stonehouse Avenue at Camden Park. At Amart Furniture, pay with Latitude interest-free to get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Offer extended. Approved customers only. Conditions, fees, charges, minimum spend criteria apply. See in store for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
He was up and about, wasn't he? He had a bit of electric blue about him. Hey, sample fixture has landed. How good's that? Joining us there, GM of Footy, Matty Doldig. Dolds, welcome.
Thanks, Rowey. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. Good Friday, 5 games. Wow.
Yeah, huge. I think if you remember back a number of years ago now, Sample sort of put their toe in the water with Good Friday footy first across the nation, and now it's exploded with all 5 games played Friday. And while they'll all be big showcase matches, I think the Friday night Norwood Port will be a real blockbuster, and would expect a massive crowd out down the parade.
Yeah, clearly all clubs in favour. How did you give or award the home game to that team on the Good Friday? Because that'd be worth heaps to them. Yeah,
look, it's a bit of a rolling offer, I guess, where it'll change clubs year on year. And yeah, Norwood generally host theirs on a Thursday, Easter Thursday, but given the weeks before matches, we needed to get a certain amount of days break. So really excited to see how that one goes, but all the other games throughout the afternoon will be fantastic as well.
Anzac Day Grand Final rematch, and I've noticed there's a few games at Adelaide Oval, the curtain raisers for the 2 showdowns, but it's good to get on Adelaide Oval for the lads.
Yeah, absolutely. So not only the 2 mini showdowns before the main showdowns, but Sturton Central's get an opportunity to play at Adelaide Oval as well, and it's just another added benefit for our sample players to experience, well, what's the home of footy and where we're going to play all of our finals. So great experiences for those guys, and it's the second home game that those 2 teams are giving up against the Crows to get to Adelaide Oval.
The Russell Ebert tribute game, that's an absolute ripper, and I said yesterday when we had Brett Ebert on the back of it, I said, congratulations to West Adelaide to do that for their home game. I think that's a great tribute, Dolds.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as the idea was raised, I think everyone just jumped straight on board. Port Adelaide, the Ebert family, and the local council for getting the game down there. So that'll be one of our feature regional games, but we're pretty excited to have 2 other games as well, one in Whyalla and one in Port Lincoln. So to have 3 games spread right across our country areas is fantastic.
Would have been a number 1 request, I reckon, for Nord to get to Port Lincoln, the first time to be played there, seeing as though that is Heartland Port. I think that's a great coup for the club. Matt, well done.
Yeah, Nord have put in a lot of effort over on the Eyre Peninsula. Obviously, it was Port Adelaide's for a long, long time. But they're starting to embrace the region are starting to embrace them. So to play a match for points takes a lot of work to get over to Port Lincoln for one of these matches, but Nord have done a huge amount of work.
Excellent. After round 8, not all games have got a starting time. Are you going to keep that flexible, Matty?
We are. What we're going to try and do, the next announcement of the AFL fixture, we're going to try and get as far along in the season as we possibly can. As everyone would have noticed through the fixture, if you're looking at your clubs, there's a few games scattered throughout the season where we've got times and dates. once we get a better understanding of what's happening at Adelaide Oval with our AFL club and a few other things, Channel 7, we're going to try and punch out as much of that fixture because we know the supporters love a bit of surety so they can plan their year.
You think early May, WA will be open for our South Australian state team to get over there, the Republic of WA? What's that? That one would have a little highlight pen on it, would it?
It's got a big star next to it at the moment,
no.
but look, our fingers are crossed. They came over to SA last year a few days after we had opened up, so we owe them, but yeah, fingers crossed the Premier loosens things a bit over there and we can get over there and beat them on their own patch.
Yeah, it's a beauty. Have you got an AFL update on their proposed top-ups or their plan for a COVID policy this season? You got any update after we last spoke, Dolds?
Yeah, look, we're working closely with AFL and both the AFL clubs. Like I said last time, a range of contingencies they're working through. One is sort of narrowing towards looking at top-up players from state leagues, should it get to a point where they've got 20 to 25 players with COVID. So while it's still a real work in progress, the good thing is that we're in there having the discussions, making sure any contingency works in favour for our clubs and, of course, our players.
Do they listen to you?
Well, that's the other part. Look, no, they're
we
really
can say what we want, Dolls, but who's your daddy?
They're respectful. They understand that we've got a competition steeped in history, and our supporters are very proud of what we put out in the park. So we won't forgo that.
Yeah, it's exciting to get the sample fixture to drop. It's just it's a ripper. You can just plan your around your team. Dolds, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me on. Look forward to seeing you at the footy.
Yeah, we'll do. Have a ripper. Matt Doldick there. Samful GM of footy doing a great job.
Very much so. A lot of text messages before we get to the 4:30 news with Michaela. CJ Bruton, coach of the Sixers on the other side. This is from Linda. Rowey, I'm a foundation member of the Crows girls team. We've been to every match and we love going, except at the moment it is too hot.
Yeah.
Football's a winter game. It should stay that way. It's a bit useless taking a scarf and a beanie to a summer game. On the same
I'd agree
point,
with that. They got to change the fixture, I think.
Marg says, Rowey, the AFLW has improved, especially this season. The reason I don't go, though, is the weather's too hot.
There you go.
Do you realise next season when Port come in, they can take 2 players from each club, but 8 from the Adelaide Crows? Will these players have a choice or do they have to go? We'll get some clarification on that.
Great question, Mark.
Anthony says, I've not watched a game in full this season, haven't been to a game in 2 years. Our team Adelaide setting the precedent and the level at the moment. They are skillful and free-flowing. John's not interested. Scores are too low. Quality's not what he's after. Why would he bother? Adam, women's footy shouldn't get the same pay as the men. Well, they're not after quite the same pay, but they want that gap to close a little bit. And this one is from Mark, who said, Rowey, careful, don't criticise the AFLW, you might get cancelled.
No, I'm not criticising them. We had an article written by Mark Robinson, which we'd put out there, and I agree with a number of those points. I think the fixture needs to change. You missed this one, Leith. You read one about yourself. Martin's close. We'd prefer Row out and Bickley in. Darren from Marion.
That's right.
Darren from Marion.
Yep.
I'm going to take a phrase from Cornsey. Leith and I aren't rocks.
That's right. We've got feelings.
Darren, we're doing the best we can, mate.
Reckon Darren's not a chance to win the voucher either.
No.